Hello? We are live, back in the kitchen once again. It feels like the weekend, just like old times. Meeshers, this one's for you. We got a crazy warm day today, but I'm so excited to learn about these burgers and then taste it later. When I was searching up the recipe this morning, I came upon the photo that Mish shared when she ate this burger on Mother's Day, I think it was. It looks so good. So I hope that we're able to bring it to life in all of its glory and enjoy it. And I told Sam that you gave him permission to not have the mustard or onion aspect on it. So we'll see what he chooses. We'll see.
What? Oh, yeah, have it.
He's gonna have it all.
Without the mustard and onions.
Oh, without the mustard and onions.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Of course.
Okay, and yes, we have unearthed a relic of sorts. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get the meat grinder box down to grind the meat for the burgers today. Opening up the box, lift this up. What could be in there except the scale? I was like, no effing way is actually what I said. I was like, yeah, right. And I just like walked away. I was like, you'll never believe this, Sam. And he opens it up. He's like, yeah, right. And like hits me. I was like, well, now we got two scales. You're right, Am. Now we got two scales. One for me, one for him. At least we got a backup now. But I still love this one more than the other one from Walmart. Just saying. We got Neil in here with us. Got gifted a sub yesterday. Paloozer's here. Yet it is. I was also wondering that too, because the hummingbirds are here at our feeders so often. We have 3 of them. Can they overdrink the food? Then there's no way they could just get diabetes. Could they get overweight even? I doubt it with how much they fly around and stuff. But maybe we have to find out. Kimmers, thank you very much for the 53 month in a row resub at tier 2, guys, for that long. That is crazy. She says, yes, I made it. Hello, everyone. Okay, guys, it hasn't been that long since we saw each other, just yesterday, really. Had a nice quiet night. We just watched our F1 race that, well, happened on Sunday. We watched it on Monday. Now it's Tuesday. Time's flying by. What we got back here, some delicious beef stock that we strained this morning, the marrow bones that we cooked overnight. We added some chicken bone broth as well as beef bone broth.
Yeah.
Sam went to the store this morning. I said, I'm not going anywhere this morning. I'm staying home, having some coffee, watching a little YouTube before I start. So that has been smelling super good. If you want, you can check it out right now. Oh my gosh, that was Kimmer's little alert. It's looking delicious though. Like, I started this with a full pot of water with the bones, and now we've cooked it down so much, and like, look at the color. The gravy is gonna be delicious. I can't wait. It's like one of those stocks. If you let it cool, it'll just be straight gelatin. I'm like salivating just smelling it right now. So that's what we already have in the works since yesterday. That's how important this was to us. And then some other hard things that we're going to be making today is homemade buns for the burgers and fresh ground meat and making our own beef patties for it. That should be delicious. Yeah, you just can't beat homemade meat or homemade beef patties from fresh ground meat. We've done it many, many times before on stream, and at this point, I can't even bring myself to buy like a pre-ground beef anymore. It's just that good. I'll take the time and make it what it should be. So I linked the recipe that Mish shared with me to follow. So let's read through. This burger is like literally going to be the most loaded burger I think that I've ever eaten before. We don't really eat burgers like this in North America. We're more simple, like bun, meat, maybe cheese if you want, and then like maybe lettuce, tomato, onion, or pickle if you're feeling crazy. Bacon. This one, though, the Danish Bøfsandwich. Is that how you say it, Mish? Buff? Like, I don't know how that O is pronounced, but that's my assumption at least. Also known as the gravy burger, guys. So I was introduced to an aspect of a gravy burger here in Canada, but it's from the east side of Canada, which I have not explored really at all. Sam kind of grew up around that area, but didn't like head out too far that way. Is it in Newfoundland or New Brunswick? Where do they eat this, Sam? Like, where was Owen from? Okay, so in New Brunswick, we had a friend that we worked with and cooked for at one of the camps. And whenever we would have burger night, he would ask for his burger just plain beef on the bun, and then we would douse it in gravy for him. And that's how they like to eat their burgers out east sometimes. Whereas like here, I already explained what our toppings are. So this is gonna be a fun melange of like both burger styles. Would you believe I've never made this meal myself? I've only had it at restaurants. That makes sense though. Like burgers are one thing that I love to go out and eat too, rather than make myself. And hello, caretaker, welcome in today. Okay, this is what I'm gonna listen to right now.
Bøfsandwich.
Bøfsandwich. Okay, Bøfsandwich. I love it. It sounds so polite. They're so polite with it. At this rate, we'll be buying half a cow for all of our beef needs, honestly. Okay, let's get our list out. We'll go through everything that's going on this burger today. And then we'll get started. For this side, we're just going to keep it simple. We have some fries that are frozen, but we saved all the beef tallow that roasted out of the marrow bones for the stock yesterday. So I thought we would toss the frozen fries in a little melted beef tallow and then pop them in the air fryer for an easy side dish with the burger. It's like burger and fries, you can't go wrong with that. Yeah, not so polite telling you to boof a sandwich. Okay. And the other recipe I linked, guys, was just for the buns today. So, the gravy burger, or Bøfsandwich in Danish, is one of the greasiest burgers around. And it's Denmark's original spin on the hamburger, doused in gravy. Here we go, guys. I really like this article, Mish. It's awesome. It was introduced in 1949, north of Copenhagen, originally without the gravy. But the gravy was added in the late 1950s in the Jutland region of Denmark for two reasons. He can't open it, he's got no nails. A dinosaur, what type?
Blackberry ale.
Blackberry
sour
ale. Hello, Michael. Welcome in. We're just going over the intro. Better late than never, I always say. Okay, so we added the gravy for two reasons. He says take a drink. That's so good. One reason for the gravy and the burger, an attempt to marry the hamburger with a classic Danish dish. The pan-fried minced beef patty served with soft grilled onions, brown gravy, and potato. And the other reason was that no hot dog stand, I can't say that word, what it's called in Danish, so no hot dog stand where the Bøfsandwich was originally sold had griddles to cook burgers, right? Hot dog stands just have those little rotating things or however they want to cook them. But there was no flat top griddle to cook a patty on in that style. I mean, you can still cook a patty on a grill, but that's not what they were going for. They only had the burners for boiling the red pork links, so they grilled the beef patties at home, brought them back to the hot dog stands, and kept them warm in the gravy on the burner. Ingenious fix and a delicious outcome, they say. That reminds me of... So it would be like middle school. I was in grade 7 to 9 at the cafeteria. That's how they would serve the burgers. And I just couldn't do it. It was just like a thin cooked burger, but they would keep it in the gravy and then slap it on the bun. Like, you know how lunch ladies are? And I was just like, honestly, not for me, man. But that's okay. I think we're going to make such a better rendition of it today, but that's what it reminds me of. Okay, so this tasty Frankenstein comfort food made the Bøfsandwich very popular in this region for decades. With very few exceptions, serving it with gravy only made it to Copenhagen in the 2010s? That is not that old at all then. And to many Copenhageners, this is considered somewhat of a fast food bastard. Are we allowed to say that on Twitch? Honestly, it may look somewhat vulgar and you do need a knife and fork to eat it. Yeah, it's going to be piled so high. But rest assured, this is true Viking grease. I love it. Burger King had one on their menu a few years ago, but with no gravy. So every Danish person was just rioting then. Did they get sued by Denmark? So this sandwich has been, or this burger, let's just call it, so I don't have to keep saying the word over and over, although it is fun. It's been designed to overload your senses with heaps of umami flavor, complementing the other 4 basic tastes of sweet, sour, bitter, and salty. Added to that is also crispiness from the fried onions on top against the soft buns, so it has a really satisfying mouthfeel. We had to go to a couple places to find these crispy onions. The first spot, sold out. I said, unbelievable, really. Why is everybody using crispy onions right now? But Sam found these yesterday.
That was the last beef bouillon in the store.
And this was the last beef bouillon in the store that he got this morning to make the gravy a little bit more beefy flavored. Good job, Samo, for sure. And I really love those onions. I don't eat them often, but I can see them being so good on this. Okay, so this is all this stuff that's gonna go onto this burger. It says if you plan on trying your luck with this in your own kitchen, it's highly recommended to read through all of the recipes below so you have an idea of what you need to prepare or buy in advance. I was gonna take some of this stuff home from work because we had like the pickled beets, the piccalilli already for our charcuterie board, but I had a bunch of stuff already in the fridge too, so I thought we'll just make it work. Okay, so number 1, we got the bun. Let's just start writing this stuff down because, well, we're gonna have to make it all today. So the buns are actually gonna be one of the first things we start with is making the dough. So I have the recipe up. It's going to be a soft sourdough discard roll. I've made these before and they're really delicious, especially for like a burger bun. So we're going to make those today. Just 1 times recipe because it says it makes 8 buns. So that should be lots. And yeah, we got to get the dough mix in and then we'll let it proof for probably 45 minutes. Write down all of our steps. And then we'll divide it into the buns. I find that the buns sometimes don't take quite as long as like the bread loaves that we made yesterday on stream to rise. So we'll proof it maybe 30 minutes more. We'll watch them. And then for the bake temp and time, let's just scroll down. 375 for about 30 minutes. Fahrenheit that was. So that's the buns. That's one of the harder things that we'll be doing today. And then the next hard one is just grinding our meat for the beef patties. So we gotta chill the grinder, cut up all the beef so it can go through, and then grind it, and then press our patties. And now all of the other condiments: brown mustard, pickled beets. So I had this in the fridge, Mishas. At first I did get the beets from the farm yesterday to pickle them, but this is super good and I want to use it up. Fermented beet and horseradish, or yeah, like a pickle of sorts. When I opened it, yeah, it like popped the jar open yesterday, but that's what it is. I want to have a little taste right now even. That's what it looks like. I think that'll be awesome for the burger. Yeah, the horseradish, it's not overpowering at all. And also, this is not like a sweet type of pickled beet. Because a lot of the pickled beets you can buy are really sweet, where this is fermented, so it's kind of more sour. That'll go really good. I like that it's shredded too. Right, Kimmers? I never heard of that either. Well, I love beets though. Okay, so I'll just write down the condiments. Beet, mustard. One that we do have to make is piccalilli, or they said you can use remoulade, which we'll go through those sauces in a bit because it's more down the line. So we have the pickled beets as well as just regular dill pickle. So we'll slice those up. Raw onion slice. We have an onion from the farm, so I think that's going to taste so nice and sweet. Raw onion. We also have soft grilled onions. So a little bit of cooking. We'll get our grilled onion done ahead of time. Ketchup. Not gonna make that one. Our beef patty. The remoulade or piccalilli. I'm gonna scroll down. Because they explain it more. So remoulade is more like a mayo-y sort of creamy sauce, whereas piccalilli is like chopped up pickles sort of in a mustardy style sauce. So I'm going to make a version of piccalilli for us. This is also a little bit spicy, so I thought that would be an interesting flavor. But we'll chop some of this up, maybe sweeten it a bit, do like a little sweet cornstarch slurry to get it saucy, and that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, I could probably make an easy remoulade as well. Usually it's just like mayo, pickles, stuff like that, lemon. But you guys choose what you want, honestly. That might even be good just chopped up and mixed with mayo. Can you buy remoulade in a tube over here? Maybe at the European grocers, but not in the regular stores here. Never seen it. To make the remoulade, first you blend the piccalilli. Okay, so they use the piccalilli in the mayo. We might do that then. That sounds really good. We make a piccalilli at work, like a very proper one for our charcuterie plate. Charcuterie has 3 chutneys, 3 different homemade pickles on it, 3 meats and 2 cheeses. But yeah, the piccalilli takes us like almost 3 days to make total. Takes so long to chop all the veggies, and then you have to salt them overnight, and then you can cook it, and then you let it cool and pack it up. So yeah, it's like a 3-day process. Hi, Melissa. Yeah, we're back today. Earlier than yesterday. We're just getting started. A lot of prep, but when it comes to cooking, it should go pretty quick, I think. You're never gonna drive and listen to me talk about food again. Are you like starving now? I'm sorry. Okay, what else are we missing here? I'm scrolling back up to the list. Okay, so that's everything in the burger. Mustard, pickled beets, sliced dill pickle, raw onion, ketchup. You got the patty, soft grilled onions on top of that, and then your remoulade or piccoli, and then your bun. Gravy, which yes, we'll have to finish that, so I'll rate it on its own line. And then our crispy fried onions, which are already back here. Sounds like a lot, but only making the buns and making the patties is the really hard part of the day. So once we get started, I think it'll be pretty easy. I got a little itch on my nose. Yeah, you can complain about feta. That is okay for today. And hi, Lord Velos. Okay, it's time to make some more bread today. Opening up the recipe. Easy, soft sourdough discard rolls from Farmhouse on Boone. So the nice thing about this recipe, we might actually only end up with 6 burger buns. Whereas like soft rolls, I find are smaller when you make them for dinner style rolls. So yeah, we might only end up with 6 buns, and that is okay. We need our yeast, water, sourdough discard. I'm gonna do honey instead of sugar for it. A little bit of butter even, and I find that the butter, anytime you have it in a bread recipe, is what helps make everything soft. Eggs help too, as well, and you could always switch the water out for milk, and that helps make a soft dough too. So you got some options. And then just salt and flour. The other thing is imagining the burger with a side of poutine. Oh, be like the Canadian version, Denmark and Canada fusion. You saw Lisa from Farmhouse in Boone is expecting their 9th child. I don't follow her super closely at all. I don't know what's going on out here, but somebody's coming through the gate. A work truck. I don't follow people that closely. I just love her recipes and always browse her site. But that's crazy. I can't even imagine a life like that. Good for her, honestly. Okay, let's get the mixer out and then we'll start filling it up with all the goodness. Everyone say thanks to Samo. He did all the dishes from stream yesterday that we made. Good man, that one. What? Who? No way. You've been delivering eggs today? And now you're at Baskin Robbins for ice cream? This sounds fun. I want to do what Amp does. Yeah, Amp just goes for a burger. That's after. Okay, do we have to weigh this? No. Everything's in a cup measure. So we'll just set up our mixer and away we go. Mish, how much does this burger cost when you go out to eat it in Denmark? Is it like a pretty expensive kind of special thing for restaurants, or do most places have it on their menu? So it says we only need 3/4 of a cup of lukewarm water. And you know what I'm gonna do before we even start this process? I'm gonna put all the metal parts of the meat grinder into the freezer so that it can chill a little bit longer while we do this. I think it's this other one. I'll let Samo decide what dye he wants. We going smaller or bigger? Bigger, he chose. Oui, chef. That's what we say all the time at work. Pretend we're building it up. Ooh, Amp had a steak sandwich, not a burger. Some cheap ass places have them, but you can get them at fancier ones too. The one that you posted in Discord looks fancy. Guess that's what I'm trying to say. Oh my gosh, surprise, we found the scale today. Don't tell anyone. Okay, measuring cups, measuring spoons. We need the discard out of the fridge. And the butter. They took it off the menu, so now you can't find the price? What the heck? Is it like a seasonal thing more almost? Hello? Lukewarm water? We gotta wake the yeast up. There we go. So only 3/4 of a cup. That looks about right. And we might even need to add extra water later when we mix this, just because we live in such a dry area now. But let's get the yeast in. 2 1/4 teaspoons, it says. I'm like maybe gonna do 2 teaspoons worth. I usually cut the yeast back by quite a bit. I'm gonna do like 1.5 teaspoons. Because my discard is usually so active that we can get away with that. The less manufactured stuff, the better. And we'll just get a little bit of honey in. 1/4 cup. See, that's a lot of honey too.
Yeah, yeast gotta eat.
The yeast gotta eat. I was frozen? Oh no, and hello, Shecht. Welcome back. A refresh helped? Phew. I was like, not today, please. I'm just gonna do a couple tablespoons of honey in here. Ta-da! Kind of just like the sourdough bread that I make. That'll be perfect. Next one. Let's mix this up. And we'll measure out the discard that we need. We'll go get our flours. We need only 1/2 cup of discard. So this isn't like a recipe that uses a lot of sourdough discard. And this is Goldilocks. She was fed yesterday. She's been fed actually quite a bit in the last couple of weeks, so she's super happy right now. You always have to stir your starter before you measure it because it's full of air bubbles. Look at those nice gluten strands. And the way that I feed my starter is half is all-purpose flour and then the other half is organic einkorn. So that's why there's whole wheat flecks in it. Holy, this is thick from yesterday. That's crazy. I've never had it that thick after I've fed it. She's ready for action on these buns today. I went a little bit overboard. Probably not a bad thing, honestly. Like, what's it gonna do? Okay, so that's good. I'm not gonna pour this in just yet because it came out of the fridge. And we don't want to cool the yeast down that we just mixed in. Is this gonna keep going over? I think we'll be okay. Now I'm just gonna clean up the edges of this. We're done with the discard. She can go back in the fridge now. until we need to use it again. Been kind of having a hankering for like waffles. Maybe next days off I'll make some waffles for us with the discard. Oh yeah, the reason I haven't been making waffles or pancakes is because we don't have any maple syrup. That's true, Sam. Okay, we need all-purpose flour. I gotta melt a bit of the butter and then just some salt. How much butter? 1/4 cup. Okay, so the place where you go to get the Bøfsandwich, a cafe by the road, the price is 22 Canadian for the whole meal. Sorry, 27 with the fries. That's pretty fair. I would pay that, honestly, for that size of burger. Because, like, even the fast food spots here are quite expensive now. I gotta melt the butter, guys, for this. Because, well, we don't have a microwave. Let's just cut off a 1/4 cup. I don't usually melt the butter all the way. For the bread, I just get it softened and partly melted. That way it doesn't get too hot to mix into the dough. We'll rinse that off in a sec. Danish beer is cheap with a Norwegian perspective. Okay, I'm gonna mix this in because it's almost touching the cutting board. It's going over the sides. So let's start mixing in the starter. It's so sticky. I don't know if you guys can tell. Definitely give that a rinse-a-roo now. And then we'll need 2.5 cups of flour. Let's get our salt. Is this gonna mix in at all? It's just like chilling there. Get the spatula. Ye old spatula. Your town's been invaded by Norwegians? Just for like their holidays, Mish? Or what's going on? Okay, we'll let that hang out for a second while our butter warms up a bit. I'm gonna flip the butter over in the pan because it's already melting. She's almost there. Wouldn't take long at all. Nice. And then this will take around like 12 minutes to mix. I like to mix my bread for 12. Lots of people say 10, but I find that the 12-minute mix on the bread just develops the gluten a bit better. Chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. Had the yearly youth football tournament, and apparently Norwegians are true soccer moms. That reminds me of growing up. Amp, no maple syrup in Canada? Well, we're being too cheap, really. Like, we can buy it from the store. Sam just wants the Costco one. I know this. Okay, butter's good. But before we put this in, we're just gonna let that hang out now on the top of the stove, and we'll get the flour in. And then we'll pour the butter on the flour so it doesn't overheat the yeast in here and kill it. So I'm gonna start with only 2 cups of flour for this. We can always add 1/2 cup more. But most of these recipes I have to cut back the flour. So we'll start there. Now we can pour this in. Scrape it out. Right, Melissa? Like, Costco has the best price, and I like the flavor of it. I don't know the quality of these other maple syrups that are, like, super expensive. So we're wary. Holy, that was up high. Okay, so this is gonna start mixing now, and we're gonna do half a teaspoon of salt as it gets going. Looks like such a small batch compared to all the bread we made yesterday. And then if it needs more flour, we can always add more. Looking pretty good so far though. Just a little batch of burgie buns for us. Scrape this side. See, there's a bit of dry flour in the middle still here. Nope, we need a touch more. See how it's kind of sitting on the bottom of the bowl and not forming a dough ball? Like the smallest sprinkle should do the trick. Do I find that I miss having a microwave for daily cooking? We honestly are not missing it. Can you focus on the dough? There we go. Yeah, now that we don't have a microwave, it's like we don't miss it. We have the air fryer, and that does such a great job of reheating food compared to the microwave. So I'd much rather actually have the air fryer now, which is crazy to say because we didn't have one for so long, but now it's like one of our favorite little tools, and it's like a lot better for us, I feel. It's more just like an oven. We'll hang on to the flour for when we go to divide the buns, because maybe we'll need it. And then in the meantime, let's get rid of some of these things we don't need. And then I'll set 10 minutes onto the timer now for this to mix. It still doesn't really want to form a dough ball, does it? More flour. We need the dough. We need to knead it. There we go. That's what we want. This is so small, this batch. It's actually kind of making me giggle. Just for comparison, whenever I make bread at work now, I typically am making a double batch, and it's like 5.2 kilograms of flour. 5 kilos of just flour for the bread. I have to weigh it out in 2 bowls. It's so much for the scale.
How much water are you putting into that?
4 liters.
That should be able to handle it. Just.
Sam says we can probably make that batch of dough in this mixer at home. That would be nuts. I don't think so, Sam. It'll be just over. Yeah, single batch for sure. What's the ice cream machine verdict? Okay, so while this is mixing, that's a good thing to talk about, actually. So, first machine was broken. Did we tell you guys that? I don't think we told you guys that. So we took the Breville out of the box, and the turn dial literally didn't work at all. But then we started looking closer at it, and like pretty sure it was already used once before, and the people broke it and then just sent it back. So that was that. We were able to use it on like an auto function just to see if it would work in other ways, which it did. So Sam ordered a new one, we got it in, the new dial works. But then we were looking online because it's like, ugh, the Breville has like a warning for like cancer related items in the like ice cream mixer bowl part. And like we don't feel awesome about that. Because once they warn you about it like possibly causing cancer if you scratch the bowl or anything, like what? You can't do anything after that. And then why do we have to be careful hand washing this thing? So we're like, okay, I'd much rather have like a fully stainless setup. There's a brand called Nella. I'll pop this in chat so if you guys want to look it up. That is like more of a commercial style ice cream machine, or it is a commercial brand. And we have a rep at work that works with this brand. So they make like a mini version and a big version of ice cream machines. So their mini version is only $250 more than the Breville, which in my mind is shit. It mixes double the capacity of the Breville and is fully stainless steel, so you never have to be super careful with it. So I think we're just going to save a bit of money and then treat ourselves at the end of the season. One person that we did watch use this machine already, if I say Levi and William, on either like YouTube or TikTok. William just used this machine the other day on a TikTok he made, strawberry ice cream. And Sam was like, holy shit, that's the one that I was looking at for us. And it worked amazing. Yeah, the Nella is very cute. It's a little bit bigger, actually, than the Breville in measurement size. But I think it'll just work so much better. Like the Nella that we have at work, I have worked that thing so hard this summer. And like I've seen other people do it too. Like it'll run to the point where it churns the ice cream so quick that it's frozen and the churner doesn't spin anymore. But like it's totally fine. It'll just like auto shut itself off and you're good to go. So yeah, that's the verdict on the Breville. Honestly, I wasn't super impressed with the first one. And then we were thinking, it's like, wow, I hate having to be careful hand washing stuff. Like we already do that with the air fryer, with the coating in the baskets. I don't want another item like that in the house. That's all I got, guys. Okay, back to our dough. Look at this little dough ball rolling around in the center here. I think I'm going to turn this up a bit higher and maybe move this more to the center. Wait, when I screwed this, it put the thing down more? Look at this dough ball. It looks hilarious. Is it a Teflon coating? I honestly don't know. I gotta like work this a bit more so it needs. And yeah, okay, so the other parts of like the churning mechanism inside of the Breville is plastic. So like imagine this dough hook and everything being made out of plastic. It's like, what the heck? It's almost built to break. Look how this is just like turning around in a circle. What the heck? Stop that. A gluten hurricane? There we go. Okay. Buns. We got the dough mix in. After this, it's going to proof for maybe around 45 minutes. We'll see. It's such a small batch, it might not even take that long. Then we'll divide them up, probably only into 6 burger buns. We'll see the size. And then we'll start working with our beef. Vella, White Dove and you have a winter brand ice cream machine that you really like. I've never heard of this. I'll look it up. Thank you very much. Ooh. That one's like very compact, hey? Holy shit, it's almost as much as the Nella one, too, though. Whoa, yeah, winter is coming. Whoa, there's different colors? The purple one, even? Whoa! 0.8 quart, that is so small. The one I think we're looking at is 2 quarts. This thing's working now. I got mad at it and now it's fine. We only have like 3-ish more minutes on this timer, so that will be perfect after. Right, the honey peach colored one. That's the 70s. We're going back in time. Pal, Tanuki and Chef Kimmy were making burgers the other day. They just got back from the US and we're missing her burgers. That is funny. I've been missing burgers too. Like, we have a burger on the menu at work, but the way that it's made is just not really my style of burger. Like, it's more of a meatloaf patty. Don't get me wrong, it's fresh ground out of the strip loin steak trim. Like, we get full strip loins that Chef butchers up to make the steaks, and then the rest of the trim goes into the burger. So it's really nice grind. But the flavor is like overpowering for the beef with all the different spices and stuff and the garlic that you don't really taste the meat. I was gonna say my phone because it was like an Apple notification, but my computer just said there's 2 meteor showers tonight. There's a 2 quart one? Oh shit, Bella. Maybe it'll work. Maybe Samuel's gonna look it up. I still have it open on my browser, so I'm gonna check it out more after stream. The place your bro used to work at did a blue cheeseburger that was amazing. That was like the first kitchen I ever worked in. Did a burger with like onion jam, bacon, and blue cheese, and holy shit, it was so good. Oh, and like onion rings on top or inside. Pretty dang deadly. I was quite obsessed with eating that at work a lot. Okay, we're just waiting for this to finish. The place was called Runway Cafe at the local airport. That's cool. Everyone have a sip of water. Okay, so after this, we're doing some butchery. Look at that gluten, though. These are gonna be good. You ate a blue cheese hamburger in Hamburg, but it was at a Hard Rock Cafe because you almost forgot to eat a hamburger while you were in Hamburg. That would have been a travesty, really. Checked, but I'm proud of you. You know the rules. Yeah, and then you had to have a hot dog in Frankfurt. This sounds like a fun adventure that we have to do on stream. We were watching one of our favorite YouTubers this morning, and they were in Switzerland traveling around. It sounds like if we move anywhere else next, because you guys know how much we move around, he's like, we're going to Europe. I was like, okay. Sounds good. Say less. Turkey to eat turkey? Do they even have turkeys in Turkey, Shakt? Because, like, turkeys are a North American thing, so that's why I'm asking. Okay, this is for sure done, I can tell. We have built this gluten up. Take it all apart. Give the mixer a little wipe to get the flour off. Misha's only had turkey once in her life, and then here we are in North America growing up having it like almost every single holiday that you can celebrate, or at least the big ones. Christmas. I mean, Thanksgiving is built around the turkey. Easter, you can have turkeys. So many times of the year to have turkey. And then there's other places where they don't have any turkey. Yeah, Christmas, New Year's Eve, exactly. It's just a big old bird that makes it easy to feed a lot of people too, I think. That's gotta be part of it. And well, they're also plentiful here. It was for a break. Okay, so we'll just get this into a small little ball of sorts. I wanted to see how this felt too. It feels good. I'm gonna give it just a little twisteroo to get the gluten nicely built up, and then we'll let that proof. I'll set a 45-minute timer, but we'll keep our eye on it. All we're really looking for at this point is for it to double in size. So just make a mental picture of how big that is. Not very large. And then we gotta wait. So it'll probably come up to like halfway-ish. You had a pet turkey? And then his name was changed to Christmas. Oh no! Annie would love that joke. That's like raising rabbits and then telling your kids it's chicken. Okay, 45 minutes on the clock. That was like one of the hardest parts of the day. Next one. Just want to show you guys where our stock is, because I think I'm going to stop here for our reduction in the pot. That is looking quite thick, beefy, and delicious. And then later on, to finish this, we'll just use some beef tallow and some flour to make a proper gravy. And yeah, call it a day. So I'm going to turn off that pot now. Just let it hang out back there. That looks nummy. Okay, thanks, Shakt. Good luck to you too, whatever you're getting up to. Your stepdad refused to eat chicken once you got them on the ranch. That's funny. Right? Homemade gravy. It's gonna be so good. We roasted the bones. We cooked them overnight. Strained this morning. There's gonna be a lot of love in there, right? Okay, so proofing. The grinder's chilling. Now we're gonna cut up our beef. Little butchery action. Let's get a board. Sam found a really nice cut of meat at the store on sale for this. Yeah, like bone broth gravy, like proper. Exactly. Let's see what we're working with. Top sirloin, which sirloin is a pretty popular cut for burgers. Sirloin has a lot of flavor as far as cuts of beef go. Do you like the label they make though? They put delish on it. So Canadian beef triple A. So that's one below the highest. And yeah, it was like $40 for this piece. Not bad. Let's get the boning knife. We'll get it trimmed up. Chill the meat so it grinds really nice. The grinder's already in the freezer getting cold for us. Oh no, caretaker. That's actually so like almost like hilariously sad when that happens. Whoa, French onion soup with venison bones? I can imagine that flavor would be really good. We were talking about actually making French onion soup at work for a feature. Would be delicious. Okay, so there's a good fat cap on this. I don't know what's underneath, if there is a lot of connective tissue, but I would love to keep this fat and put it back into the grind because it's nice and white and hard. So that's the proper fat that you can use to put into your grind. You don't want the stringy stuff like here. It's really stringy and sinewy. We don't want that. So we might have to cut that layer away from in between the meat and the fat and then put it all together in the grinder after. No, it seems like there's a bit, Sam. On this one end, I can feel it. Well, you know how it is if you grind gristle into a patty. That ain't it. I don't know if it goes farther in. That's why I said I'll see. But like this, if you can't pull it apart with your hands, guys, do not put it through the grinder. Because it's going to be just as chewy when it comes out the other side. And then you'll have that all throughout your patty. Not good. Also saw a little bit on this underside here. But the beef is really dark, hey? Hello to Bear Fan. How are you doing? Welcome in. There's a layer under here of sinew. I don't know how far it goes though. It might actually just end here. Okay, for sure get this part off. And then I might do like strips like that and take the fat off and then take that sinew part from underneath the fat. This is what you call culotte. They also called it like a tri-tip sort of steak too. It was interesting. You're trimming up tri-tip? That's so funny that I just mentioned it. 80 to 100 pounds. I'm just gonna like try to cut just through the fat here so that we can get this part off. Nice. That is exactly what I wanted. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'm trying my best. I also don't want to waste, yeah, see like a lot of meat coming off with it. Let's see after this first piece if there's actually connective tissue under here. I don't think there is actually. I think Sam was right. It was like maybe mostly on the end. I mean, the fat's a bit thicker here. I might be able to just peel it off. Yeah, shit, we're good. We good, guys. Okay, so now we're gonna dice this up to around like 1-inch pieces. Go through our grinder really nice. You could have potentially put that into the stock pot to make the gravy, but since we're done already with it, I'm not gonna go there. There's a little bit here that I'm gonna take off. A really thick piece of sinew. And yeah, the rest of this we're going to now chunk up. I think it's just fat and meat, Mishas. We're good. So now we're gonna make strips, like 1-inch thick, basically just steaks. It looks good, though. It's so dark. Holy smokes. Oh, what do we get to bust out today, guys? The Le Creuset griddle to cook the burgies on, if you want. You can toast the buns on the other side or griddle the onions. Whoop whoop! That'll be fun. I would cook this up as a steak right now. This looks so good. Samo says, so save a piece. I mean, I didn't cut it that good. Oh, maybe I did this one really even. Should we save that one to cook up for a steak? It literally is perfect. Sure. Let's do it. The rest can grind up. It just looks so perfect. We can't not. And then we'll save all of the fat cap to grind into the meat, I think. Maybe we'll take a little bit of this one off because that's quite a bit. I don't want it too fatty. But fat does equal flavor. We're blessed with the presence of Scooter Beach. This was a top sirloin Scooter. And now we're cutting it up. We're gonna turn it into a burger. Yeah, you better believe it, Neil. The fat cap is flavor. Just keep going. Hardly toasted? That's actually crazy. Where does the 4 years go? I mean, think about me, too. It's like, I can't believe I've been streaming since 2018. And, like, we've never been the people to, like, take a long, long break away from streaming. Oh, see, there is a little bit of sinew here. If I see it, I'll trim it off. Okay, that's all I'm trimming for the fat off. Granddad, it really is the best. I'm excited to try it today. I didn't look up like anywhere local to see if people make it here. Okay, we're leaving that whole to cook as a steak, but maybe it exists. I'm just gonna put this instead of a bowl. I think I'll just put it in this container to stuff into the freezer. So now we want to get this meat as cold as possible, and that will give us the nicest grind for our patties. This other bit I will also put in a container. I just put a piece of plastic film over it to keep the oxygen off so it doesn't turn brown. And then that was another hard part of our day completed now. This is $40 or $38 Canadian worth of AAA beef. I think this is gonna be a great burger, hey? Okay, so it's triple A Black Angus is the type of cow, guys. Just washing off our board here. Get it sanitized, wash our hands, our knife from the raw meat, and then we'll carry on. In culinary school, you're not allowed to move forward with your practical classes until you pass the safety and sanitation course, which I think is such a smart thing to do. So that's why I'm always really adamant about this part of cooking too. Hello, Goat Farmer Bluesy. I feel like it's been forever since our paths have crossed. Just gonna spray a little bleach on there now. Beautiful. 38 Canadian is only like 28 American. Ugh. You guys would save so much money coming here. Okay, so that's going. Can I even fit it in the freezer? I stuffed our 2 loaves of bread in there. I'm gonna do a little switcheroo for a sec. Bread's coming out for a moment. And now, cover this up. Same with the cafeteria, Melissa. It was like that. That's smart too, right? Because, like, the biggest thing for cooking is you never want to make people sick from eating the food that you make for them. So that's why it really is, like, the most important part. Yeah, right, Lord Velos? About 4 or 5 years ago, the whole piece of meat would, like, maybe cost that much. What are they doing to us? Somebody send help, please. Wrong one, sorry. Okay, so we have 30 minutes on our dough that's rising back here. It's in a warm area. And I think that 30 minutes is also proper for our meat to chill in the freezer before we grind it. So we've cut our beef. We'll wait on both of those things. And then we'll first divide the buns so they can start proofing for their second round before we bake. And then while those are proofing, we'll grind the meat and make the patties. In this next 30 minutes, let's get some other stuff together. Like, that has to be griddled or cooked. I'm also going to read through a bit of the recipe that I have linked and see how they cook this. So that's the best part about the article that Mish has shared to make this today, is they really explain every single aspect of this burger. How much was the beef Canadian? It was 38 Canadian. Yeah, that's true, Melissa. Same with Farmers Market now. Most of them make you have your food safe. You can't just like make stuff at home and bring it anymore without a certification, which is smart, right? But that also means that there's been so many people that have been made sick that they have to have that rules. Unfortunate at the same time. These people are very serious about their Bøfsandwiches. Do all the pros use Le Creuset in kitchens? I think people use whatever they prefer. I really love to cook with cast iron, especially because I've only lived in one place that had a gas stove, and that was like the first place Sam and I lived together for a few years. Other than that, it's been electric, and the cast iron holds heat a lot better than just stainless or aluminum. So it makes it really nice to cook on electric things when you use cast iron. That's just my thing. Also the non-stick aspect of it versus like a Teflon pan that's not very good for you. Yeah, I can't afford all clad, so I think Le Creuset or Staub is kind of the best thing. But like I said, it's personal preference, really. I don't know what the other people use at home that we work with. Okay, so they say the ideal bun for this burger is a relatively soft one. I thought at first it said really soft one. Perhaps a brioche style or potato roll. So yeah, there's butter in our bun today. It should stay really nice and soft. And it says make sure you toast the bun, guys. I would say the toasting will really help the rest of the burger and condiments hold up. So the bun's not just gonna fall apart when you pick it up. Yes, yeah, Lodge is a really good starting point for cast irons, for sure. Canadians will put mayo on their burger. We're gonna make a type of remoulade today. Okay, so the next one was the brown mustard, which we're just gonna use Dijon. Not yellow mustard. It's not a brown. Brown mustard's very spicy. Not spicy in like a peppery way. Spicy in like more of a horseradish type way, right? Dijon's acceptable, Fufy. Because like I know if we bought a whole jar of brown mustard, I probably wouldn't use it. I could maybe donate it to Chef at work. Maybe he would use it. Okay, scrolling down. So for the raw onion part, we just want it really finely diced to sprinkle over the burger. So we'll do that at the same time that we prep it for the griddle. Soft grilled onions. 3 to 4 big onions. We're just gonna make a small amount. Oil, butter, salt, pepper, and sugar. Peel the onions and slice them pole to pole. I would say tip to tip then. It says click here if you're in doubt of what that means. What are you doing to me today? Oh God. Okay, yeah, so that's how we're always taught to cut our onions, even in culinary school. So I already knew what that meant. Okay, so we'll slice up our onions, put our pan to medium, add them in, add the salt and pepper, and then add the butter afterwards. And then we finish with the sugar at the end. And then if there's some liquid, we can reduce it down. It says, is this called caramelized onions? Well, to most Danes, that would likely mean something different. And there's really not a lot of sugar in this recipe. So this is probably somewhere between sweated and caramelized onions. It says, so they're definitely related, perhaps like a marriage in the Southern Appalachians would. I'm not allowed to say that on Twitch. It's getting spicy in here. Samo's got the kettle on. I think he's getting some noodles going or something. You're already telling him to go for a nap? Okay, the remoulade. Make the piccalilli and then mix it with mayo. He's trying out the ingredients that we're going to make the piccalilli with. Onion, cauliflower, cucumber, carrot is usually the veggies. You're loving it, Granddad? I'm excited. He's about to eat the burger of the year. And thanks, Melissa. Sam said, I've been like playing around with some TikTok hairstyles I've seen. He said I look like a mermaid kind of today. I said, that sounds really nice. Is that going to be good? If you want, you can leave that out and I'll chop it up in a bit. Just over here is good. So first we'll do the onions, guys. And then we'll work on the remoulade or piccalilli. So if you don't like mayo stuff, do just the piccalilli, the veggie part of it. But if you like sort of creamy mayo sauces with your burgers, do the remoulade. It's just the piccalilli mixed with mayo. Easy. That's a serious question. Do you eat the Bøfsandwich without or with gravy? Let's get the onion. Whoa! We got the Bodum strobe light just for Mish. Is it doing it on? Do you see what we see? Let's get the onion.
Walla walla.
Oh. White people dancing. Well, it's the way that the light is flashing. It's like that kind of dance. Here's our farm onion, though. So, probably not even half of it will go into the diced raw onions, and then the rest of it we will cook. I'm gonna give it a wash, though, because it's a little dirty. Veggies grow in dirt, guys. Did you know that? I'm sorry if somebody might get a seizure from this. Maybe we should take it out of the scene. So I'm gonna show you how to make easy, fancy ramen at home. Is it happening in person? No. The light is just blue. It's the LED flashing on the camera. We'll just turn it that way for you guys. It's off and done anyways, though. Okay, so without cutting into this, let's tip and top the onion. I don't know if we want to use some of the greens. That looks so nice. The kettle's packed up. Yeah, it's all in your head. So first things first, we'll cut this in half. And then I'm only going to fine dice what we need, and then the rest we will turn into the griddled onion. So really, really small amount. Because Samo's not. And I don't like crazy raw onion on my burgers either, so that's why I went really small dices. We'll put this in a little container for plating later. Oh no, did it all get actually cut through? By the way, this knife is scary sharp now after yesterday. It's so sharp it like digs into the cutting board when I try to scrape stuff off of it. Shaving the wood off if I'm not careful. Sam just laughs. We got the onion. Dunny. Next one. So pole to pole. What are you doing? And also want to show you this, like the root end, I always slice off at an angle. Otherwise, your onion slices are going to stay together. So trim that at an angle and you're good to go. And now this is pull to pull. So the way that we were taught in school is there's natural lines in the onion that you can see. Just follow those that way. So we're not going to cut that way. We're cutting this way. Loser. Is that your bro? He will still keep his membership in the Canadian Union if Sam skips the onion. Phew-fee. So now we'll go like not too thin slices on the onion we're gonna cook. That is so white. Holy smokes. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, what is even going on here? We got Samo's pork. I'm cutting onions. We're gonna cook this later when we got the griddle out. So let's just put this in a container for now. Is this kind spicy? Only if you want it to be, Melissa. The spicy oil is on this side. It's so, so good. This is honestly like one of the top brands of instant ramen noodles. Nongshim. If you are gonna get into this. And these are from Costco. So you see the spicy sauce packet, but you don't have to spice it up. And yeah, there's like garlic chips and scallion flakes to put in. It's so, so yummy. And then Sam usually jazzes it up. Like he'll put egg yolk mixed into the broth once the noodles are soft, and like whatever's in the fridge for protein, sliced pork, different stuff like that. Usually they're on sale. Is it 6 for $12 or something like that? Pretty inexpensive snack, honestly. Yeah, basically like an egg drop soup. You can even like mix some soy sauce and sesame oil in with the egg before you do that. Is good. We got an FCB in here with us. How is your week going? Good to see you, friend. You're not a fan of the spicy, so you get the Sapporo Ichiban. I really like the Asian manufactured ramens over the like North American ones. They just seem like a little bit higher end quality. Especially if you have some issues like digesting stuff, like I do sometimes. Do I need to turn this down now a bit? Lighten up our life here. Okay, so I just put a little lid on the sliced onions so they don't exhaust too much onion flavor into the air here before we cook them. And then our diced ones, I think I'll cover with a bit of plastic and just put in the fridge so they stay crisp and fresh until we're ready to plate them on the burger later. Yeah, like Neil says, the noodles have a different like textural sort of chew. So I guess it all depends on how picky you want to be with your ramen. That's Samo's. We even have a Clem in here. Hello. How are you doing? I'm gonna use the already stained cutting board to cut all the veggies that are probably gonna stain it more. Thought that was a good idea. As far as our bread rising, not too much is happening yet. I might switch this over and put it on the warm burner. Get a bit more heat into that. Whoa. It's been an easy week, but really hot. 44C today. Yeah, we're only around like 37C today. So not quite as hot, FCB, but I can't even imagine that. And it's really humid where you are too, right? Samo already opened and tried this. It says hot mixed vegetables in variable proportions. So we got hot peppers, eggplant, cauliflower, carrot, celery, fennel, olive, pickle, onion, caper, and tomato. That sounds delicious. I was trying to find like a jardinera pickle to turn into piccalilli, but they didn't have that. I think this is gonna be even better though. You had 21C today. That's like our lows right now. Holy shit, Mish. Okay, I'm scooping some of this out and then we're gonna chop it up. I'm gonna try to not get too much of this spicy pepper though, because that's not usually a thing. Where's my cauliflower at? Ooh, there's a nice little pearl onion. That'll be good. And some more carrots, I think will do. That'll do, donkey. And then I'm gonna have a taste of one of these. Mmm. It's like pickled marinated veggies in oil. That is so good. Holy shit. I just want to like scoop that onto an Italian cold cut sandwich. Yes, please. Okay, now I'm gonna finally dice this up. But before we start, I'm gonna go take a quick bathroom break. It's that time. Did I just see a fly? Gross. Guys, don't go anywhere. We got stuff in the works. I'll be back in a moment. Hello, it is I. I have returned. Yeah, is this Misha's recipe? We could have added feta. Greek feta is the only feta you will eat. We have goat feta at work is what we use. Oh, and we were looking up yesterday, or Sam did after the stream yesterday, the burrata. I don't want to say burrata. The burrata cheese that we used is only about $8 per ball. So that's not even that bad. I thought it would be more expensive than that. Okay, we're going to finally dice this up. I think we're going to still mix it with like a little bit of mustard. Usually piccalilli is like kind of saucy. It's got turmeric in with the recipe as well. Kind of sweet and sour sort of flavors. So we'll maybe doctor this up to what I feel it should be. Because I only serve piccalilli every single day at work. But like I said, it's literally like a 3-day process to make it from scratch. And I couldn't find, I guess, a store-bought, like, jarred version of pre-made piccalilli. Maybe at the European market it exists, but in a regular store that doesn't here. I think I want to make it remoulade style too, because I always like mayo on my burgers. And so does Sam. He's like an extra mayo sort of guy. I think it'll be delicious. FCB is subscribing at tier 1, guys, for 57 months in a row. We got those 50 plus months going today, guys, on the resubs. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for that long. It's really crazy to think all the time. Something we should definitely be like really proud of. Our online community that we've built since 2018. Washing off my oily hand here so that we can get this into, maybe we'll just mix it in a bowl. But sometimes I like to just mix this stuff in like a container that I can put into the fridge. Because if there's extra, then it's already kind of packed up and ready to go. Caretaker, whenever you make bean salads for a meal, you use feta or blue cheese. Ooh, I like that. I've never heard of like cheese in the bean salad. I'm intrigued though. Okay. Rinse that off. Greek salad, but with chickpeas. That's like a nice little protein style variation. A little vegetarian protein in there. Okay, we got some mayo. Add a little bit of turmeric for some color. And what, like a pinch of sugar for sweetness, I think, or just a drop of honey? First, we're gonna doctor it to the piccalilli, and then we're gonna turn it to the remoulade. I've been craving a Greek salad lately too. I also kind of want to make one for a feature at work for lunch. I think that would go so good. Somebody tried to make up their own Greek side salad the other day at work. It was so funny because like we didn't even have the cucumbers for it. Because like we only get certain veggies from the farm every week. That week we didn't have cucumbers. It was hilarious. I was like, I can do the tomato and onion and feta. But like we didn't even have Kalamata olives either. I was like, what if they just got what was on the menu? But I doctored it up for them. Hopefully they enjoyed my effort. This literally just transformed into piccalilli with 2 ingredients. That's funny. How does it taste? We could even go sweeter. Piccalilli's like a sweet style of veggie relish, I would say, with a bit of mustard and turmeric flavor. But it's really got that sweetness at first, at least how we make it. It's like sweet and vinegary. A little bit more even. That's crazy how much it can take. Balance it out. Nice. The bread is rising a bit more now. I'm gonna like pretend turn on the burner. Make a little proofing chamber. Okay, guys. Now we're gonna add the mayo. We don't want it to be like soupy though, right? So just add a small amount at a time. That's probably almost perfect. Honestly, looks really perfect now. It's not too loose that it's gonna make stuff soggy. The veggies aren't too big that it's gonna be hard to eat with the burger. I think that looks great. So we can put that in the fridge. Yeah, we made 3 loaves of bread yesterday for Sam. And then today we're making the homemade buns for the burgers. We're on a roll. Okay, where are we at on our list? We got the raw onion. We got the griddled onion. We made the remoulade. We have the crispy onion. Ketchup's in the fridge. The pickled beets in the fridge. Same with the mustard. We have to slice some dill pickles still. Literally. That was good actually, guys. I didn't mean to. It just happened. Literally on a roll. Dig the pickles out from the back of the fridge. And these are so good. These pickles. I would say this is like a very similar pickle to what you guys would use. It tastes like my grandma made it. We'll slice those up. Pop them in a little container for later. I love pickles. I think it's definitely safe to say that Danish people also love their pickles of different varieties. Grandma pickles or Danish pickles. These just taste a lot more homemade than some of the other brands that we can buy here. The other brands cheap out and use like crappy vinegar and make their brines taste gross. Those ones are so proper. To get a bit more surface area, I think we'll slice it on the bias. And then not too thin either, I think. So when I saw from Misha's photo, it was like nice little pickle chips. Good sized chonkers. And okay, that was the timer going off for the bread. I don't think it's quite ready to divide the bun, so we're gonna grind the beef first while we're waiting. That's gonna be so good. Would I be a fan of bread and butter pickles? Yes. I love them. And yeah, I'm like you. I'm like one of the few people in my family that loves to eat them. And so I don't often get them in my life. Why are we like this? Okay, pickle, complete. So we just gotta bake the buns, get our beef patties, and finish the gravy, really. Does anyone else in chat like bread and butter pickles? I don't think we're quite there yet. Let me set another 10, we'll do 15 more minutes for that to proof. What's a bread and butter pickle? It's the ones that are cut, like, how do I say it? Scalloped. They got the ridges. They're usually round. And then it's like a sweeter sort of brine. How do I describe it? They're so good for snacking. Cucumbers, onions, and pickling spices. They have a crisp texture and a balanced sweet and sour flavor. They're so good. Some people put like extra mustard in so they're a little bit more yellow. It all really depends on the recipe that your family uses. Yeah, some people even put like chilies in with it. You can't buy them there. Maybe you have to try making it, because I think you guys would love them. I really like it, at least. You've not even heard of them, Kay. Yeah, I guess like more similar to like the sweeter brine in a pickled beet than like the tangy brine of a dill pickle. That's true. That's a good way to do it. Okay, I'm gonna get the encarcerum back over and we'll get it set up with the meat grinder. And we will get some minced beef in our life. You love pickled beets? I grew up with them too. I really like them. Could snack on them all the time. But that's the same, like, I used to like the store-bought pickled beets, but they've changed the brine and like made it so cheap that it doesn't taste good really anymore. Exactly. So we're used to what our grandma makes. Not the same as what you can buy in the store. Hello, chilled grinder. How art thou? Just twist it all apart. Dun, 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 dun. That goes there. Guess we can put our new screw in now that they sent to us for this thing, and it won't go rusty. That's what I'm gonna do after we use it this time. So all of these pieces have been chilling in the freezer. This is the die we're using today. It's like medium coarse, I would say. Not the biggest, but not the complete middle either. It's like a medium rare if it was a steak. And now we'll switch that way. I think I can fit this loaf of bread back in now. We'll be taking our meat out. Beautiful. Our chilled beef. And we just need the feed tray and the plunger. That goes there. That's for that. How do we usually set this up? Like this? It's been a while. I don't even remember. I guess it's gonna be like that. Now I always do a test run to make sure I set it up right and there's no weird grinding sounds in the middle. Something was moving a bit. Just give it a little tighten. Perfect. Okay, now we just need a bowl to put underneath where the meat's gonna come out. This is honestly such a small amount that we're grinding today, so I'm not even gonna put a glove on. I'm not worried about it. Bedroom pickled beets? What? Good old autocorrect. Thanks for that, Melissa. Okay, so I gotta run that on a medium speed. Start feeding it in. Meatworms assemble. This is what Samuel's been doing at work to make the burgers for lunch. That looks so good. I haven't had a fresh ground burger patty like this in a while. Like a long while. Very much ready. That's all of it. Empty. Still a bit coming out. I like how like the little bit comes out as I turn it up and down. Okay, I think that's everything. And now we unplug it and we take it apart. That's how easy that is. So I like to just take this whole thing off of the mixer and then take it apart after. But yeah, this all came through so nice because the grinder was chilled. Look at that. Like the meat in the store here does not look like that when you buy it. A little bit around there. That was kind of loud. Okay, there's a little bit of beef that was around there, but not bad. And then what's this? I guess we didn't want that sinew anyways. Remember when I said if you can't pull it apart? Okay. Didn't want it in the burger? Anyways. Now we gotta make some patties, but first I'm gonna give this stuff a little rinse so it doesn't all get stuck on. And then when the bowl is empty after we make our patties, I'll put it all into soak as well. Sorry. Sorry, Mishers. Washing the handles. We'll get rid of the mixer. And then we'll form some patties. Making burgies. Looks like our bun dough is almost ready to divide. Perfect. That's really what we're waiting on almost at this point. Hurry up, bread. Okay, now I think I'll put some gloves on to form the patties. And then, where's my patty press? And the papers. Got them. They're in the tote. Guys, remember when we used to make the burgers all the time for Zach and his family? Good times. You love hearing damage? Yeah, it drowns out the ringing in your ears. These aren't the biggest patties that we're making. I think we can go a bit bigger. That looks good. Did it say the size of patty on this recipe that they make? They want 20% fat in the burger, which I think we definitely got. 7-ounce burgers is what they do. Or you could do 2 thinner ones, because then you get double the crust. And yeah, there's no cheese at all on this burger. You miss Zach. Him and Jess just got engaged last month. I'm so excited for them. I mean, they've been together forever, so is it really a surprise? But yeah, they're doing good. They miss us too. Hopefully we can head down there actually in the off season and process some venison for them. That would be pretty perfect, I would say. So before we press these, now that this is set up, let's just get our burger balled and weighed out or portioned. Thinking probably 4 patties from this, maybe 5. Let's see. But I like to lay everything out. Get your balls and then we'll top it and then press them. They still live in the cool house in the woods. I think they got or bought their own property now and have their own house. I don't know if it has to get fixed up or something, but I think that's what I saw lately. I gotta see what they're up to. Okay, this feels like maybe a 6-ounce patty. That's more like 7-ounce, and we're not gonna overly pack this. That's it. Just until it forms together, place it down on the paper. Yeah, Palooza. Zach, our mushroom man. You guys remember that? Our hunter, fisher, forager. That's what we always said. This grind looks so good, you guys. My mouth is watering already. This fatty part, holy frick. When that cooks on the griddle. Okay, there's a bit more fat in over there too. Not a freaking cloud in the sky here today. There we go. So 3 larger burgers and 2 smaller ones. Look at how nice and clean that bowl is. Yeah, now our buns will be able to divide too. And now we're gonna top these. These I might have to open the press up a bit more for, the larger ones. So let's try the smaller patties first. Was that tight enough? Actually was. If I open it up, it's a perfect burger patty. So that was the smaller one. That's our timer on the bread that we reset. I'm just gonna put these smaller patties into the container, and maybe tomorrow after work, that's what we'll cook up for dinner is that steak and then these burgers. A little smorgasbord, if you will. You have the smash burger press. I love this thing. It works so good. So those two are gonna go into the fridge. And then the other 3 we will cook today. Which they can go into the same style of container. But I'm gonna leave the patties out, so they can start to warm up before we cook them. Holy, that one pressed so nice. I also haven't weighed these, so let's see how good I am. I was aiming for around 7 ounces. A photo of this steak. Oh yeah, when we cook it tomorrow. Good one, Mish. 6.3. That was good for guessing, honestly. 6.8. Impressive. And hi, OMG Pete. Good to see you today. I hope you've been well. Yeah, we're doing good. That one's 6.7. Holy. So we were close, guys. I feel happy about that. And yeah, don't ask where this came from. Mish, where did this scale come from? What the heck? I don't know what happened. I packed it so good, I don't even know where it went. Yeah, Sam gets the small one, I get the bigger ones. Fresh ground patties for the people. We are the people. If only Mish could also be the people. Okay. Grinder. Press the patty. Done. We gotta divide the buns. It's time. It looks like maybe only 4 buns are gonna come out of here. Sorry, I dropped the thing on my pins. Mish is also a people, yeah. The warmth that just came out of there, very nice. Let's get our baking board again that we used yesterday. She's all washed up. Yeah, how much percent feta is what, Mish? How much percent of feta is Mish made out of? %76.5%. Your homemade hamburger patties cook weird. They rise in the middle. That is what happens when you overwork the meat. So think of it almost like overworking gluten, where that's going to hold in all the air bubbles. So same thing can happen with meat, especially if you are also putting in breadcrumbs or a binder into your patty. Is that's going to trap the air and steam inside of the patty as they cook, and there's nowhere for it to go. So you worked that meat and gluten so much that it can't escape. So if that happens, you might want to invest in like a burger press to keep them smashed down as they cook. That's something I've seen before. Or just mix the meat a little bit less. Like you saw, I didn't really work the meat too much before I pressed it. And you shouldn't have that happen anymore. Hopefully that helps. I think we'll need a little bit of flour down onto the board before we divide these up. And then the only other thing is these will go directly onto a sheet pan afterwards. So let's get either parchment, or I'm going to use a silicone mat on my baking pan. You're welcome, friend. Oh, that's a good way too, Mish. Yeah, just mix it with a fork. Maybe just a little bit more gentle than using our hands. So this is what I'm gonna use to bake the buns on. Parchment works just as good though. I like to just keep that beside me as I'm working. And then a little bit of flour down so this doesn't stick to the board. We had someone come into the restaurant with their kid the other day and ask if we could make the burger patty into meatballs for them. We were like, no. How about they just eat the burger that's on the kids' menu? Gotta press the air out before we divide it. Do people make weird requests like that all the time? Where we are now, yes. Just because the clientele is very different and high-end. So I feel like, well, they're kind of used to getting whatever they want in life, right? So to them, it's not weird to ask for whatever you want. But yeah, a lot of times we'll just say, no, sorry. Be careful, pal. Okay, usually I pat this out into like a rectangle of sorts, but that's not really happening today. Maybe we'll still make it work. And then we'll divide this up. Honestly, I'm thinking only 4 buns. Maybe 5? Let's see what one of these balls is like. No, I think that's actually going to be good if we do 4. Yeah, it also depends on the server as well, right, Niche? I think that'll rise up to a very good size for our patties. Divide that one. Move that over. I need a little bit more flour, I think. Stick into my hand. Bless you. Who was that even? It was outside. Form it into a nice ball and then onto the pan. Who's dying out there? Just scream it out the window. Imagine if they responded back in Danish. This one needs a bit more flour, I think. It didn't look as good as the last one. Samuel was being quiet. I don't know if he's still playing games in his room or if he's having a little nappa. How do you say that? Mange-tak? Or is it not really an A as much? Mange-tak? You're not good at shaping rolls at all. You end up making them look weird. So I'm doing this like the most beginner way right now, how I was taught. And that's what I found works the best. But like you can also roll it on the board if you're like pro. That's for when we used to make like 1,000 pizza dough balls every 2 days. I'm pretty sure he's asleep as well, Niche. I mean, you did tell him to go have his nap. He had his noodles. You know what's next. Okay, one ball might be slightly larger than the other balls, but I think we're okay. Now let's cover this up. I'm gonna do a little oven proofing chamber today to finish these off, just so we don't have to wait forever. But now that they're divided, it should go a lot quicker, hopefully. Let's get rid of this. Those should be about 30 minutes, hopefully less, to rise, and then we can bake them for about 20. And I mean, by all that time, it should be perfect time to assemble the burgers. We still gotta get some fries on the go. We gotta cook the patties. This is him right now on his bed. So think at an angle, corner to corner. The pillows are up on one corner. Sam's got his headphones on and he's just like sleeping like a mummy right now. Maybe his hands are by his side. Just like dead. Dead in the bed. You proof your dough on top of the furnace? I think the furnace is in the creepy basement through the other side of the house. So that's not like the most ideal for me. He's practicing death, yeah. Sleeping like Wednesday Addams. Maybe that's a better comparison. Dead in the bed. Okay, divide it up. So we're just pretend turning on the oven to get it warm inside. What's next, guys? We gotta griddle the onions and cook the patties, really. Oh, and finish the gravy. We need the beef tallow for the gravy and the fries. This is the tallow. It's so nice and white. Like, holy shit. So we're gonna melt some of that just in this small pot. Yeah, let's see if this smells later when we're cooking. Help him rise from the dead. Like when you put food in front of dogs when they're napping. If you've never cooked with beef tallow, it's super hard. It's like the hardest fat from an animal to cook with, but it's also like one of the most pure. So nice and white, and you can use it to cook at a very high temperature. In the old days, this is how everything used to be deep fried. Now, not so much. Put a good amount to melt in there. I mean, we can always pour the melted tallow back in the container. That's okay. But we want enough to make our gravy and enough to kind of toss the fries in before they go in the air fryer. I think that would be insanely good. Still can't get over that you have to reach over whatever you're boiling or frying to adjust the heat. Wait, so all of your dials are in front then? Like how the commercial stoves are that we work with at work, is you just have all the dials in the front to play around with and you never reach over everything. Okay, that's nice and warm. For these to hang out in. And then we'll set a timer. Don't worry, I turned the oven back off. I think we'll check them in 15 minutes. Those buns. And then hopefully at that time we can get the oven heating up and it'll all time out together. In the meantime, grabbing the griddle down from the shelf. And I might just end up cooking those onions while we're waiting in a small pot. That might be the easiest. And then we can just heat them back up on this later. Could you tell we were making tortillas? Get the little round. You can see on it still. And then this will go this way, I think, on the pot burner. I don't know why that stuff's designed completely different from North America to Europe. That is so weird. I guess I could also get our other camera set up now, my phone, since we're cooking. I need to try one of these crispy onions while we're waiting. Such a big bag. And look, there's like nothing in it. What the heck? These ones are a garlic pepper version. It's good. Look, the back photo is the onions on a burger. It says great on salads, burgers, and mashed potatoes. Yeah, an expensive bag of air. I don't know how much those cost either. Probably a lot. Really? So those are really popular in Denmark then for like a snack. Yeah, we're gonna make the onions, the griddled ones, I think just in this pot here. I'll go grab the gimbal and set it up so that we can cook together. We're cooking, people. You think you were just weird, maybe? Because, like, what type of kids like onions like that? I mean, I was the weird kid who ate frozen corn kernels and peas out of the bag before they were cooked. But those things are, like, sweet and crunchy. Okay. We'll have to go to the scene and get my camera hooked up. One momento. Thank you. Look at this, Pete. Unbelievable, really. I'll go grab the jug. Actually, I'll just go bring my mug over and fill it up with the water. Way easier than bringing the big jug over. Everyone else has to have some water right now, too. Good stuff. It's true, Melissa. Like, we don't think about that stuff, right? You use bonfire hot dogs as a means to get the fried onion in your mouth. That sounds good, Shecht. Okay, what are we looking for here? We're looking for this one for now. Kate's iPhone. Holy shit, people. Yeah, you're on the cutting board right now looking at the key light. We're here. This is where you're going. To the side. This is what's on the side of the cutting board. It's a stream section. Then we got the arrow garden with the basil and the parsley. And now we're gonna go over here. Dun, 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 dun. Double Kate. It exists in the world. Not just a clone. Kate squared. Look at this setup. Gotta go a bit higher up. Yeah. Okay. This is for the onions. We read through earlier how they told us to cook it. We already have it sliced up. I believe we cook the onions by themselves first, and then add seasoning, and then the fat. Let me read through one more time. Onion sliced, cooking oil, butter, salt, pepper, and sugar. Set your pan to medium and add the oil. Okay. And then add the onions. Cook them for 5 minutes until they're translucent. Medium. We need some oil. You could also use the beef tallow, I guess, if you wanted. Double duty. Just gonna do a small amount of oil like that. And then for the sugar, I'm just gonna use a little bit of this raw sugar at the end. Just finish it with it. It's not supposed to be too sweet. We're smoking. There's like something on there. It's like sizzling. Smells like sugar, honestly. Burning sugar. Taken care of. Hot dogs with fried onions at a family funeral service. Oh yeah, maple syrup and caramelized onions. Very good, right? We're waiting for that to heat up. And we'll pour our onions in. We need a spoon to stir them. And then we just gotta toss our fries with some tallow before we finish these burgers off. Hot dogs and Klondike ice cream bars was the favorite thing of the person who passed, so that's what you had. I love that. Not just like the typical like cold cut sandwiches and salads and stuff that people sometimes get. That's what I would want people to do, I think. Eat all of my favorite foods. Get those going. We'll get our salt and pepper down. These are like a quick caramelized onion, I would say. Like a quick version. That's why they're called grilled or grilled onions, not caramelized. So that is, yeah, one of the issues here, Shecht, that we do want to take care of if we are allowed to stay here in the off season and kind of fix things is, yeah, there's no ventilation for this cooking space, which is actually illegal from a tenancy board standpoint. Not on us at all. We've done our best at this point. But yeah, for this suite to actually be legal for us to be staying and paying for stuff in here to live, there should be a exhaust ventilation for the cooking area, unfortunately. Luckily, I mean, there's no gas in here that we cook with. It's just electric, but still. It's not good for your health, like Mish says. There's nowhere for that, like, the oil and stuff that comes off of the food when you cook it to go. So you're just breathing it in. But luckily, we have the window right in front here. So not too bad, but still. Shouldn't really be on us to deal with. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think in a couple of weeks we'll be having like a chat about the future, and we'll let you guys know the plans from there. So far though, the plan is to stay, and we'd like to be able to stay here in the winter when the restaurants close, and we'll pay to live here still. It's okay. Or the other thing we were also maybe going to offer is like they've made more money off of us living here rather than the Airbnb beside that they've tried to rent out during the summer. So maybe we'll be allowed to have the larger space since we proved that we're like responsible and take care of things. And they could use this space for other staff members. And then at least both sides are filled and they're making money. Could be an option. You have a gas stove, but there's no ventilation. That's kind of crazy too. But yeah, if you don't use it often, that's at least not too bad. Hello, Chef Rob. Welcome into my kitchen. I'm Chef Kate. How's everyone's day going? How was your stream? And what did you get up to? Right now, we have some onions on the stove cooking for our grilled onions for the burger. We got buns proofing in the oven. We just finished making our fresh ground beef patties from sirloin. And yeah, things are going really good today. Look at those. What did you get up to? Also, we can say that this stream is dedicated to someone in our chat right now, a wonderful community member. Kiwi Mish has asked me to make this today, and we're all learning together what exactly a Danish Bøfsandwich is. It's also known as the gravy burger, and we're gonna bring that to life. The stream was good. You made chicken jalfrezi curry. I've been having such a craving for curry like that lately. That sounds so good. If only we could trade our meals. With onion bhajis. That's like the fried onion little snackies, right? And then basmati rice with it. Yum. And papadums. I've only lately been like eating papadums and I love them. Guys, that sounds delicious. Thanks for sharing your people over here. We've been live now today for almost 2.5 hours. But we are going to be finishing pretty soon here. Say maybe 1 more hour max of the stream. And yeah, we always cook and taste everything together at the end. No gravy for you on the burger? Okay. Don't trade your burger away. Ooh. How do I feel about cheating and adding some sugar? Well, they tell us to. So they add a tablespoon of sugar in off of the recipe we're following, chef. So we are gonna cheat. Just at the end, though. Just at the end. Oh yeah, and let's not forget our little nub of butter that we need too. Because they said once the onions are starting to get translucent, which they are. What's the better view there? I think that was good where it's at. Then we can add the butter. I already added our salt and pepper. The butter flavor on onions cooked like this is really what makes them. At least that's my opinion. That was also just the timer on the bread proofing in the oven. Hopefully our buns have risen enough that we can turn the oven on and finish baking them. You always realize that you want the caramelized onions too late. Because they take a little bit of time to prepare, right? It's not something you can rush and cook quickly. Then they just end up tasting burnt almost. The leftovers of these I'll probably eat tomorrow when we cook up that steak. It'll be so yummy. Get all those onions in there. Okay, now those are gonna cook a little bit slower and lower to get them softer and cooked down. Canned caramelized onions. Okay, so they made the caramelized onions and then tried to can them. I could see that just turning into like onion soup, unfortunately. Is that what happened? There's a happy face in the ladle. Hello. How's these buns? Holy, they really rose quick, guys. That's what I'm saying. So now we can turn the oven on. It's a 375 Fahrenheit. Look at them. And then we're supposed to egg wash on top. Those look fantastic. I think they're gonna turn out great. Something happened to the flavor of it even. So not even the texture. That's really sad. Okay, so while this is slowly cooking back here, just turn down the burner from medium to like medium low. Give this one more stir. And then we're gonna egg wash these buns really quick. Check these out. Hello. This recipe is linked in our recipe command if you want to make some sourdough discard buns for yourself. They turn out so nice and soft. Sam left us one egg, thankfully, to use for the egg wash. These are from our friend's farm from work. Her family has all sorts of animals there. And we sometimes drive her sister home, so then her mom just gives us eggs as payment. Say thank you for your services. So we'll whip this up. You can add a little bit of milk or water to it. And then we will swipe that across the top of the buns before they go to bake. And that'll give us a beautiful sheen, a nice golden brown color on the top. Hello, Uncommon Wolf. How are you doing? Yeah, that's why you only can like one jar of something that you've never made before. Just in case it doesn't work out and then you have to throw it all out. Yeah, the eggs with poop still on it. That only happened one time. Like, am I even mad about it? No, because I know where they came from. Lady B Miniatures. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. Hope you're doing a-okay today. So I always make sure the egg is mixed very, very well before we dilute it. Today we're gonna use milk. We're feeling fancy. Nice, you're making stir fry? That sounds good, especially on a hot day like we have here today. You had an egg washing station at the ranch. Usually their eggs are beautifully washed and she'll put like a nice little stamp on from the farm. But the only time that we had them unwashed is when Sam just drove there one day and showed up. So they didn't have any washed at the time. But that was our own doing, really. Here we go. Got our pastry brush. And now we want an even layer all across the top of the bun. And not too much that goes around the edge, because then you will get like a baked sort of eggy sort of layer down there. Gets a little crispy. So instead of the recipe making 8 small dinner rolls, We just made 4 big burger or sandwich buns. Now I'm gonna have to wick away some of the egg from on the tray. That's okay. Yummo. And that's it, really, guys. I'm gonna use a cloth. In Denmark, it's common to use beer for egg wash. What are you doing to me, Shecht? Is this an actual fact or faux? You put beer in pancakes instead of milk to help them, like, rise? Now this is just crazy work. Like beer batter pancakes? In the UK, the egg washing process is different and the bloom stays on, which is why, yeah. I'll never forget the first time I went over to Europe. By myself, I was backpacking. I planned on being there for like 3-4 months. I ended up lasting 3 months there until I ran out of money. But yeah, first time I went to the store, I was grabbing eggs for myself. They're not in the fridge there. I was looking everywhere and then I found them on the end, just like in a regular grocery aisle. And I was like, are these safe to eat? I was so confused. It's like, are they just there because, like, they're on sale? It was funny. Hello, Nike, as well. Mr. Johnny Rodden. Think like a crepe pancake. Wait. I've seen these made on Cecilia Blomdahl's YouTube page. Her boyfriend's Norwegian, and he made those style of pancakes at the cabin, and I was like, those look good. Okay, so we're waiting for the oven to heat up. Only about 100 more degrees to go. And then these buns are going in the oven. Onions are currently cooking on this stove. Let's give them a stir. Oh yeah, those are cooking so nice. On like a medium-low heat. We're just slowly cooking them down. They're browning just slightly. We have our griddle ready to go here for cooking the burgers. And then in this pot, we have our beef stock. That's going to get turned into gravy when we're ready. And that might be coming up sooner than later, actually. I think once the buns go into the oven, we'll do the gravy. And that way the gravy's done and we can just focus on the burger and then building it after. I think that's gonna be perfect. I just saw Nike's thing of saying slapjacks instead of flapjacks. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna put a few things away now that we have a moment to ourselves. Kind of bunged up the kitchen area here a bit. You can just rinse it in water. Yeah, I didn't really know what to do. So I just actually poured a small amount of vinegar in the bowl and just washed the eggs that I needed. So I was like, is the vinegar gonna like make the shell start to fall apart? I'm gonna get the meat grinder soaking too. Because, you know, back to work tomorrow. Someone's got to clean up after stream. Finish all these dishes. It's starting to smell really good in here, though. And that's making me excited for food. There we go. And it's Sam. Samo's the best dishwasher man around. He was doing them all this morning. I was like, do you need some help? He's like, no, this is my job. I said, okay. Not quite time for the sugar in these yet, but soon. Okay, so for cooking the burgers coming up, we need this big spatula. I don't know if we'll need tongs. Maybe. This will be our flipper. Whoever cooks does not clean. That's the rule in your house. We don't really have that rule. We really just try to pitch in together as much as possible. But yeah, yesterday was a bit different, right? Because I did a lot of the cooking and then he had a quick little nap while I finished. So that's why he sometimes spoils me that way. Okay, oven says it's ready for these. Look at how nice those look. This one is huge, by the way. Let's pop them in. I will set, maybe also go a bit lower. And there's like a sneaky hair on there. Go mid-oven. 15-minute timer. I feel like these will be more like a 25-minute bake only. So we'll swivel those in 15 minutes. Right? Yeah. If I'm cooking, then who else is doing my dishes? That's the other thing is, yeah, we don't have a dishwasher here, so it's all by hand. So I really try to not make too much dishes during stream. If you overfill the sink, then you wash them. Thanks for playing the game, Uncommon Wolf says. That's scary. I mean, the sink's not overflowing, so I think I could get away with this one today. I'm getting excited though, because it is almost time to eat all this delicious food that we've been working on. Our onions are just like slowly cooking away back here. A little bit higher on the heat to get them browned. A little bit more browning action now that we put the butter in, because that always helps. And they're not sticking at all, which is a good indicator. They're cooking very even. The gravy needs to be really thick. Okay, why don't we... Actually, this is what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure once these onions are done, I'm going to pour them out into a small bowl. And then we're going to use that pot to finish the gravy in. And that way it'll be like pre-flavored from the onion. That's what we're gonna do. I did already bring the flour away, but in this pot is some melted beef tallow to make the gravy. Just get the flour bin out and just bring a small amount out of it. Like, we probably won't need more than a 1/4 cup of flour to make the gravy. That'll be lots. But yeah, just going off of the photo that you showed me in Discord, the gravy, the way it just like coats the burger looks so, so good. It's a Barbarino. Yeah, redemption winner. I almost said redemption minner. Miche. 1-to-1 flour fat ratio. That's what they teach us, but I honestly don't measure anymore. I just pour the flour in until the fat gets, what, like thickened? Is the best way to say it? Yes, turning this up was a very good idea. Holy, we're almost there, guys. Hello? Oh, the scale. I don't know anything about the scale. Who else knows things? Bob. Oh, I already brought the box away. The box of shame. So, digging out. Mish has screenshots, you little creep. Digging out the box for the meat grinder today. So I'm opening it up, taking out the pieces I need, you know, the usual business. What could be unearthed in there? Except the one and only. The scale that we thought didn't make it here. I have no idea how it was just like stuck perfectly in there. But hey, now we got 2. That's better than none. I packed so good, I lost it on my own self. Be careful, everyone. That's a warning. Sometimes you can be too efficient. Yeah, he did what was demanded of him, and now he's back. We might have woke the bear, but that's okay. Okay, now we got some more browning action. In like 2 minutes, we'll put the sugar in and stir it up, let it cook for a little longer, and then those onions are done. On a scale from 1 to 2, how well did you pack? That's definitely an Annie, I would say. Is he working hard on his kitchen today or what? Bob had his phone on the dashboard, saw it, and said, that looks familiar. I don't know what any of you are talking about. I mean, the words out of my mouth when I opened the box and found the scale was no effing way. And I just walked away. He scaled down on his stream time. Yeah, is 1 being the best or 2 being the best? Right? There is no worst, because it does exist. See how I keep mixing these and like scrubbing off the browned bits from the bottom? Mix them into the onions. That's the ticket. These are also shrinking quite a bit now. It's sugar time. You bought scale measuring spoons? What's that? We are fond of the fond here. Yeah, we're gonna make the gravy in this pot after. So whatever's left is what's going in there. I won't scrape too much off. I mean, it's not like I have a wooden spoon. Just silicone. Look at how that changed the look of it. I used a bit of brown sugar to help with the deep flavor in the onions, more caramelized flavor that way instead of white sugar. We'll let those go a moment. That's in the pot. I think it looks so good. It's smelling yummy too. A scaramouche is in here with us today. Hello. As well as the blood oak. Always made with a lot of fanfare. Aloha. Are you in Hawaii? Okay. Turning it off. We'll scoop those into a bowl. And then it's gravy time. And then it can finally be burger and fries time. Try to not let too much of the fat run down the side. Give that a wipe. Grilled onions. Okay, so there's a bit of fat in there, but we need more. So we melted a bit of beef tallow earlier. Let's pour some of this in, and then the rest we're gonna coat the fries with. That should be good. Turn this back on, and then we're gonna switch to a whisk. Sprinkle in some flour. I'm gonna go a bit at a time. Who do we got resubbing real quick too? Oh, it's not a resub, it's a gifted sub from Mish. Gifting to Scaramouche. Guys. And then Scaramouche is paying it forward and gifting a sub to somebody else. I need more flour in the tallow. 1 sec. We don't want this to burn either. Scaramouche gifted this sub to C. Capone. Welcome to the kitchen crew, my friend. I'm gonna pour a little bit of our stock in to just loosen this up. We don't want any lumps, so a little at a time is what's important here. Mish also said the gravy needs to be thick. And we don't want any lumps in this gravy either. That's looking pretty nice. And we still have some stock left over. You and Scara have history, Miss Scara. B. Capone and the notorious A. Capone. Thick is the trademark of this gravy. I think this looks honestly perfect. We'll let the flour cook out a bit more. We got 4 minutes left before we check the buns. I think we're good with this. That's surprising. I thought we were gonna use it all. Oh, it's going to be juicy. For sure. I can't wait to see how all these flavors meld together. That's so nice and smooth. I'm having a dip from the spoon. The beef flavor is really good. We might have to just add a small amount of like this, just for the smallest bit of like salty, beefy flavor to finish seasoning. But wow, that definitely tastes homemade. This is such a weird color. It's kind of creeping me out. It's like gray. Moist and saucy. Hello, Deep Sound Dispatches. It's been a while. How are you doing? I'm gonna add a small amount like that. But basically, as soon as this is bubbling, you can start to taste it to see how you feel about the seasoning. All the flour should be cooked out. If it tastes a bit starchy still, let it cook a few moments longer. See how that is. Oh God, don't do that. That's what I didn't want to happen. It's okay, I avoided it. Whoa. That is it. That is so beefy. I'm turning this off. That's gonna coat the top of the burger. Like seriously perfect. And now I want to move the griddle up here so that we can cook all together on it. So I'm gonna move this other stuff over and it can just hang out warm. This pot is pretty hot, I know that. Now we can also use this big burner for the burgers together. So the gravy's done, and then as it sits here, it might want to start creating a film on top. So that's why I left the whisk in, so we can keep stirring it. We gotta back it up even now for our burger cooking part. Gonna get rid of a few things back here. Yeah, I'm gonna also get the fries on. So why don't we come over, we'll toss the fries in the tallow and then they can start cooking over here where the plug is in front while we finish the burgers and stuff on this side. So they're gonna cook in the air fryer. I always put a cloth under this because the sheet pan leaves a like mark on our wooden board all the time and it bugs me. That's all good, Deep Sound Dispatches. I don't think that would get us down. I mean, we all have our kind of tough times every now and then, but as long as you make it out another day, that's what matters most. Yeah, you better not fall asleep. We're almost there. Also, that was the bun timer for us to switch. We got none other than super fries. That's what Sam chose. Holy frick. These are the craziest buns I've ever made. They look amazing. Maybe 10 more minutes? I don't even know if that's necessary. I'll do 9 more. What makes them super? That is a good question. We might have to message them and ask. They're pretty big buns. They turned out amazing, Ab. Do we really need a bowl for the tallow? Or can we just fill up the air fryer basket? This is the setup right now. I angle it so it's like facing out the window to exhaust the heat. Look at those nice baskets. So I'm gonna fill these up and I'm just gonna drizzle the tallow over. Ah! Because then as these are cooking, we'll shake the baskets and it'll get coated. Don't load it up too much, just one nice layer. Dirty. Dirty fries. I love it. Now they're definitely super fries. And then we'll season those after. They said 360 on the air fryer. Match cook, air fry. I'm gonna go 375 for 20 minutes. You found a sprinkle covered chocolate ball in your fridge. That must be a good thing. You're just shaming me in chat. It takes more to shame a 12-year-old. That is so true, actually. Kids don't really have shame like that, do they? Does preheating the air fryer make the fries crispier? I don't know about, like, fries, but for sure, like, roasting things. It definitely helped with veggies the other night. When I was roasting veg, I did the veg like after we had already cooked something in the fryer, so the baskets were hot. The sizzle sound and the way that the roasted veggies came out, it was awesome. Things are working, people. Okay, there's like 6 minutes on the buns. I guess we start cooking burgers, guys? Just stir in the gravy. Wants to make the film. We made it, Mish. Why the crinkle shape of fries? You can ask Samo. I don't know. That's just what he was feeling. Maybe they were on sale. Yeah, HR. It's just a paper shredder. Just put the complaint inside. What's gonna happen? Okay. That's going on like medium high-ish heat. The back one we'll do medium so that we can toast the buns, maybe heat up stuff. We got patties, salt and pepper because we haven't seasoned anything yet. We have the onions to go on so they can be warm on the burger, and everything else is in the fridge. Just temping these buns here. I feel like they're basically done. Oh, they are. Those buns are done. Timer's off. Got no words on how nice these came out. Those are seriously perfect. I also don't really have a spot to put them to cool currently. My hand's just like burning slowly. Thank you, Pete. I appreciate that. Those are some of the better buns I've made, that's for sure. Okay, so we'll probably need a bit of oil for the burgers to cook on this side of the griddle, so I'll go grab that. And it's definitely getting warm in here. We're heating it up. What about the top of the fridge? Are you looking at burger? The burger. You know what's better than oil for cooking burgers? Tallow. Scaramouche is already in my head. Look at how good it is. It's so hard, you gotta like flake it. Oh yeah, that's heating up already. We might need more. Also, look at how lopsided this burner is. How do we cook evenly on this? Huh. Do I gotta like put the towel underneath? Look, it just burnt it. That's a from me. So the Le Creuset griddle is nice, but only if you actually have burners that are even. Because the rest of this is just flowing down and away. We don't need those either where we're going. It's definitely hot though. We need a pie pan. I don't even know what to put there. I can maybe put like a metal utensil to pop it up. Use the like cheap metal spoon to rebalance it. Don't touch the handle of that though. That's gonna be like smoking hot. Okay, I'm gonna get the first maybe 2 cooking. Redo the whole kitchen before we even make the burger, Mish says. Look at this. That's been sitting now. I honestly think I want to season that side before we put it on the griddle. We'll go season side down. Ready? Basically where you put it is where it's gonna live. And now we smash it. I don't know if we'll be able to fit 2 patties. Maybe just. Like right there. I don't even think it's gonna fit. But what we will do is season it up. Maybe once this one cooks a bit more, it'll shrink. And then we can fit another one on. And then the buns will get toasted on the other side. Gonna turn that side off now. Oh yeah. You called Annie? He's coming in 4 days? Is that even allowed right now? What does it look like in there? Into the warm bun already. Okay, don't touch the pan because it's really hot, guys. Let's see how our burger is. Okay, so half of it's seared and the other half didn't.
It smells so good from
So,
the room.
it's only a one burger style of griddle because, well, all the heat is right there. We're learning, everyone. Yeah, Nike. I've been struggling for over 8 years watching this woman. You guys are the best. Look at the bottom of the bun. It pops back up. You know what? At least the beef's not rancid, Mish. We might have long waits. Yeah, we're at our 10-minute mark, but at least the meat's not rancid. Whoa, what happened here? Come back to me. Sam comes in the kitchen and the camera breaks. Oh, we're back. You can see the line where the burger's cooking. There we go. That'll be done in about 30 seconds. Is that toasting at all? I could probably toast the bun in the oven. It's still hot. And this one will be for Sam, so we won't put any onion on it. That'll be for after. So in the meantime, stir up our gravy. We're gonna scoop our burger off. We're gonna scrape this little bit of meat off onto there. Look at that. And we're gonna press the next one on. Right in the middle this time. Leave the paper on. It helps the patty not stick to the spatula when you do this part. And now you can take it off. Next one, I'll cut the next bun open and get it toasting as well for us. So steamy inside the buns. Holy. It's working. Putting it in the oven to toast. It's working, everyone. Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna start to get out all of our different condiments. Look at this list here. Look at how warm it's getting on my face. It's getting so red. Okay, beet. Mustard. Pickle. Piccalilli. Or remoulade. Ketchup. Raw onion. Crispy onion and griddled onion. It's all there. Done. Gravy on the stove top. Completed. Not even a stick at all. Yum. Maybe one more little bit of tallow. Ellie Claire, thanks for the follow. I'm gonna put it on this side because it's gonna melt down. Yeah. Five minutes on the fries. That's gonna be accurate too. So really, all we need is some plates. If you were wondering why the smoke detector hasn't gone off, it's because it doesn't exist. I'm opening the front door. It's so smoky in here. Okay, that's almost done. I'm gonna get the buns out and put them on the plate. I guess it started ringing the other night when Sam was going to bed. So he just took it out of the ceiling and literally threw it outside. And it was just ringing outside all night. Beep. Beep. I was like, oh my god, the poor neighbors. The battery died, yeah. But we only got it like 3 months ago, so how's the battery already dead? Okay, that patty's done too, and we'll finish with the other one. As soon as the juices start to come out, I usually take it off to rest. That's how it looks, it's like it just starts to pool on top. You're good. Little bit more tallow. You can see that layer of fond though. Wow. That's straight flavor right there. We still gotta season this last one. So the other patties were like 6.7 and 6.8 ounce. This one I think is the 6.3. Oops. There we go. Remember, wherever you place it is where it's gonna stay for the first bit. Oh, I also took the paper off. Let's see if it sticks. It doesn't smash as nice when you take the paper off, it's true. Yeah, it didn't really smash evenly. Excuse me, camera? Thank you. Just because I say it? What the heck? What? It literally comes back. Fries are crispy, guys. Excuse me, camera. Just behave. Air fryer is off. We're clearing the board, getting ready to plate. The cam, it might be too hot in here. It's pretty freaking warm. So we'll just take the fries out of the baskets up top here when we plate. Because, well, I don't have anywhere else to store this thing currently. Yes, I'm breaking the Legos. Where's Samo, my fan, the master man? He just disappeared.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
This place is slowed down.
I'm cooking.
What are you trying to do to us?
Everyone. Wow, look at that searing. And then I think I'll just pop these back on the colder side. And then that can come off. Look at the juices, by the way. Am I gonna pour that in the gravy right now? Yes. Okay. Holy. Okay, I'm gonna come back to the cutting board now. So I see this camera's doing crazy shit. We're done over there. Is this camera almost done too? Homemade bunners. Sam, you can dress your own burger because I don't know what you want. I'm gonna make mine on this side, guys. This is our remoulade. Also, I want to kind of follow how they build it because they give you the layers that you should follow. Oops. There we go. Scroll wheel works the other way, Kate. Bun, first we need mustard actually on. Extra mustard on Sam's. Whoa, that would have been too much for me even. You got fries in the air fryer behind too. Boom. Mustard. Then it's the pickled beet. Hello, Chef Mega. Welcome in. That cook on the burger, though. I don't know how much of this stuff to put me, so I'm just gonna do like a small amount of everything in layers. Your gravy, Sam. Sliced dill pickle. Raw onions. I'm not held liable for any of those actions. So I'm doing traditional way, Sam's doing a Canadian version. Then we go ketchup. Then we go beef patty. I'm going for this one underneath because that one came off last. Holy. And then we go soft grilled onions. Yeah, these will heat up no problem on top of here. Whoa. How's the bun and stuff? And the homemade patty? I mean, there's no words over there, so I'm guessing it's great. I just licked my fingers after putting those onions on. So good. Okay, now it's the remoulade. Then it's the crown bun. This is where we're at. Then we're gonna come in with the gravy. Might have just enough for a ladle. 100% beef tariffs. Mish, I gotta do this in the other view for you. Okay, I'm gonna try to hold it up. If that's not a perfect gravy, I don't know what is.
You don't need another scoop.
I'll need another scoop? Why? Drown that shit?
Yeah.
If Samo says I need more, then I need more. And then lastly, we're coming in. Crispy fried onions, Misha's favorite snack, instead of chippies from the store. Yeah, Sam says it and he wasn't even the one to do it. Like, who's making the rules around this place? Okay, I'm just grabbing my phone so I can take a photo of this masterpiece.
That was pretty awesome, though.
Don't know what the best way to have a photo is.
Go outside in the sunlight.
Okay, let's see. Because it looks so amazing, you guys. I'll like pop it on the side of the... Don't ask me what's going on. There's like a helicopter outside right now. I'll pop it on the side here. They're coming for the frickin' burger. Oh my god, it's a Black Hawk. They're literally coming for the burger. F off. That's mine. That's gotta be one of the most picturesque things I've ever made, though. They kept driving, don't worry, guys. It's the Danes! They found us! No! Okay, so this is my head, and that's the size of the burger. Hopefully, it's good enough. It looks freaking insane, you guys. Me.
Are you going fork and knife? Or you going
No,
fingers?
I'm just going in. I hope you're
going
ready.
in?
Like, look at me already. I'd just probably go right in the shower after stream.
Yeah, we'll get the hose.
I can't even unhinge my mouth. And they do say, okay, wait. They do say it's served with a fork and knife. So do we need a side shot? We need a little side shot. I don't have like a steak knife to cut it. I guess I could just use my shitty paring knife.
She's a knife.
At first, it's like super red underneath. I was like, oh my god, is the patty not cooked? But no, it's the pickled beet. I was like, is it bloody? Okay, ready for this shot? That's actually really nice looking. It's the bloody beets, and now we gotta remember this for tomorrow morning. We're not dying, everyone. Oh my god, it's so juicy. In a crazy way, that's super good altogether. Like, the crispy fried onions really make it on top, though. What else are we supposed to do? I love the pickles because I've always loved pickles on burgers. The gravy is just like this crazy richness that you don't expect, but really brings a lot of extra beef flavor. And yeah, the homemade bun, I think those are the best buns I've ever made in my life. The fact that there's sourdough in there, awesome. I really like the piccalilli with the mayo to make the remoulade. Just for that creamy kind of mayo aspect, it's more like a North American style burger that way for us to relate to. Super good, hey? Danish food is so good. I can't wait to hopefully try this one day there in Denmark now, right? A real version compared to what I think it should taste like. Because that's all this really is an adaptation of food from elsewhere that I've never had before. One of your favorite comfort foods is hamburger steaks with beef mushroom gravy. Yeah, and mashed potatoes. Totally. And yeah, you can't even take me to the restaurant where you shared the photo from because they took it off the menu. Maybe we could ask them nicely to be like, we need this and you make it the best. Can you please make us one? We'll pay whatever you want. That was really delicious though. And yeah, for like, what did you say? It was $28 Canadian for like the big burger with a side of fries. I would pay that. Because you guys just saw how much effort this all takes to make today proper. It's not the easiest thing. It's not like a fast food North American burger at all. They're Danish. Yeah, we can't ask nicely. What a great stream. 3.5 hours. We spent some nice time together this week. Mishers, thanks for being here. I know it's getting late for you, but she hung out with us the whole day. And we brought this to life. Like, you know I'm going to smash this after stream. I just hate dirty hands while we're finishing up. How's your tallow fries, by the way? Can you actually taste it? It's only 12:30. Who else we got on? Who are we gonna go raid today? And you know what that means, guys? We'll see you again next week for streams. Excuse me. Belch of approval for the chef. Thank you. Categories they think we'll like. Yeah, we haven't seen Steve in a bit. And they're building out the new trailer. We're gonna go see Steve then. Since we're not around as often anymore. That was always our Sunday thing. Yeah, we've never heard of that guy before. Who is that? Thanks, Melissa. Just make a feta patty instead of beef next time, Shecht. Just feta with gravy. We'll let Mish decide. Really. She's the feta queen. Okay. Guys, we're wrapping up. Thanks for the last 2 days. If you missed yesterday, definitely go check it out. It was an easy, fun one. Definitely summery foods yesterday. And Sam was first time trying burrata cheese. in his life, and you love it, hey? That's a definite get again. Was so good with the peaches, guys. And yeah, Mish, thank you so much. Bringing the Danish Bøfsandwich into our life tonight. As a Canadian, I'm honored to have made this for you. And I think if you tried it, you would have been pretty impressed. Maybe not perfect as it could be, but close enough. Okay, Chef Steve, 3:30. Let's go send you guys there. It's a safe spot. You'll learn a few things, hopefully, too. And just an awesome human that we love to support in the food and drink community. So we're going to head there. You guys know where to find us throughout the week if you need anything at all. Discord is definitely the best place, but I am also around on Instagram and TikTok. Not as much Facebook, definitely not Twitter anymore. Hopefully we inspired you to create something delicious for yourself. Maybe share it with somebody else. Other than that, I'll keep you posted on next week's menu. I'll try to do at least one menu redemption every week now coming up until we have them squared away, because this is super fun and it helps me not have to think about what to cook every week. Love you guys. Take care out there. Stay safe. Until next time. Thanks for all the support as always. I'm gonna hit that button. Send y'all on your way. Samo, you know the drill.
Bye.
Bye.